Hello and welcome back to Panguine Productions and to Halo Infinite. Today is the last day of the current Halo Infinite flight. I have to say so far it's been a very enjoyable experience. So my aim today with this video is to showcase some of the Spartan level difficulty bots, hopefully show off some gameplay for all three maps, and touch on a slight bit of customization that I missed in the first video. So let's start off with the customization. So I missed armor coatings completely in the first video, or I think I did anyway. They're fairly self-explanatory though. Some of them are quite cool, although I must admit that I am hopeful that in the final version of the game, outside of this flight, we will be able to customize each individual armor piece with its own colour. The other area is the hip bags, where previously whenever we looked at these they hadn't loaded in, but you can now see what they look like. So we have, I don't know if it's a grenade or a medical cylinder, one of the two, then a double one here, and then my favourite one that's appeared here is this grenade pack, which is like the soft shell case, a radio and 3 grenades. Which is all very cool. Now unfortunately none of these are actually unlockable, as they are previews for the first season of Infinite whenever it launches, but it's nice to see them rendered in game for this flight. And as you've probably noticed by now, I haven't got very far in the season pass, so my aim is still to get that N7 armor, as I keep calling it. Hold on, I will get the actual name. The Scorpion Punch armor. The reason why I keep referring to it as N7 armor is because the red and black, or in this case grey combo, is very much synonymous with Commander Shepard. So in my head this is N7 inspired. So it will forever be in my head the N7 armor. And I hope that's what 343 was going for whenever they put this in, because that's a nice shout out to another one of the big sci-fi games. I think it's always nice whenever there's a bit of crossover. So without further ado, let's get into some multiplayer. All 3 maps are now available. This is where this will tell me that they're not here. So we have Live Fire, which is the UNSC Academy themed one that you saw in the first video. We have Recharge, which is the reactor themed map. And I'll upload a video of some Slayer on it, and Bazaar, which is the Mombasa themed map. On ODST difficulty, without me talking over the top of it, on its own in addition to this video. But for this one we're going up against Spartan bots and we'll see just how difficult they are. Marine difficulty bots, as you'll remember from the first video, were a challenge at times, but to be honest, we were winning 90% of the time, if not 100% of the time. ODST bots were a step up, but I still wouldn't say that they were on player par. You know, if this had been a 4v4 match, I don't think the bots could have matched the intensity of another human player. Although they did pull off some cool moves from time to time. So we'll see if Spartan is indeed another step up. Bazaar is our first map. I love the fact that there are chickens in this map. I know that'll freak out some people, but yeah, the fact that there are animals running around in a marketplace is awesome.
Let's be the best little slayer we can be.
I've also stuck with the Circ AI, which is the circle one you saw me pick in the first video. Each personal AI has its own voice associated with it, which I assume you can swap between the shape of them in the final product. But no, the Circ one's definitely my favourite one, voice actor wise. She's got a lot of Agatha Harkness from WandaVision in her, I think. Especially whenever there's a startup one where she does like a wee laugh, and it's sort of like unsettlingly creepy, but in a funny kind of way, and I love it. The Butler one was alright too. He's just a stereotypical butler. What is that bot doing? Is that even a bot?
Reload. Taking damage.
Oh, there's chicken. The pyramid AI was not for me. I just didn't gel very well with it. And the accountant one was alright too. It's just I prefer the happy-go-lucky tone of this one. Nice to see all the concept art lying around. There's loads of Easter eggs in here. Whether it be John 117 posters. Or the wee cafe that you saw up the stairs there. Also has some Easter eggs in.
Threat sensors active. Power items incoming.
So it's got the weather, running out of post-its, some
Power items
codes,
up for grabs.
and some general recipe stuff. And apparently you walking into a chair is enough to smash it, so there you go.
M41 Spanker is a go.
I have no idea what's going on with these bots, I really don't. I have a feeling this is a bit of a buggy match. Which is fine with me, because it means we get to have a look around the map. Tijuana. I wonder is that to the station from ODST? Well, I'm pretty sure that's Kikomani station, but still. I don't know any Kenyan or Swahili or anything, so my knowledge in such matters is limited. But I'd like to think there's wee nods to both ODST and Halo 2 here. Well, I just took a grenade.
Fire.
Take cover!
Oh, they seem to have twigged on now. Seem to have twigged on, and I immediately die whenever they did. They're swapping weapons, that's cool. I didn't see the other AI doing that as much.
Power items available.
They would pick them up, but I don't think they picked them up off us.
Enemies on me.
Threat sensor picked up.
Another one down.
I'm now 2 for 2 on getting killed. And I've just hated myself. Joy of joys.
We've lost a teammate.
Here
Crap
we
shot.
go.
Oop.
Back one.
I'm ready definitely the score's much closer with these ones than the previous tiers. One behind me. Stuck my teammate,
A
but
successful spike.
he just carried that in there, so thank you for that.
Targets are over there.
Taking fire.
I love this this pistol. The sidekick is honestly probably my favourite weapon in the technical preview.
Picked up the gun.
Power items inbound.
Watch my back.
Power items up for grabs.
Killing spree.
Should also say I'm coming quite late to this on the third day of the preview, so chances are everybody else I'm playing with has been playing this for a while and is up to speed
Nearing
on
victory.
all these bots and everything. So that's maybe warping the score slightly. I'm going to die. Trying to get one low down because I want to grapple shot into somebody
5 minutes remaining.
to like, show off how that works.
Frag obtained.
I did it in a couple of matches yesterday and it was great fun.
Cover me. Tango's closing in. Over yonder.
I didn't do it that time. Harpooned him, but I didn't melee him at the right time. My bad. Oh, have I had a loading screen error or is it somebody left? Yeah, I think I've actually ranked up now. Also, I see people with these custom emblems. I'm assuming they either have the Waypoint app and that's how they're doing it or something else, because there definitely isn't emblem customization in this preview in game. So it's a bit funky. Got the armor, it's going on. Nice. There we are, I can safely say I have achieved my goal for this preview. Would have liked to have got some of the other armor, like the headpieces and that. I still think that's very recon-esque. Just what I wear in a lot of the other Halo games is recon. All because of a pre-order bonus for Reach back in the day, where it gave you a recon helmet, so I tend to keep all my Spartans recon now. Apart from Halo 4, it's a Venator one. Again, because of a pre-order code. I think Halo 5 is the same as 4, so this would be a change back to like the original either ODST or recon style. armor type for me.
Slayer.
Oh, we're on Bazaar again.
Let's be the best little slayer we can be.
Spartan down!
They literally follow the same initial path as the other bots. They just are more effective.
Cover me.
Also, I don't know if I had discovered this in the first video, but there is also a slide. It doesn't go very far, but there is a slide. It's not quite Apex level of sliding, or indeed Titanfall.
Watch my back. Take it right.
But it's cool that a slide's been included. Oh dear, 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 dear.
Got a few of them with that shot.
Oh, I apologise, I stole that guy's kill. I think as long as we're working sort of semi-together with each other, we're alright against bots, and the bots similarly if they go up against
Crack shot.
if they go up against a player in a group,
Killing spree.
they tend to win.
Add that silverware to the pile.
I'll get beat down again. You get the idea of what I'm trying to do with that grapple shot. I think what I'm doing wrong is I probably need to shoot them first,
Double kill.
Power items
and then
up for
grapple
grabs.
shot into them.
Tagged one!
As much as I was kind of like, oh, the command was a bit meh.
Way to victory.
On the first day of the fight, I've actually found myself using it off and on. Still prefer the BR. BR is great. But I'm using this as like a replacement for the assault rifle, which is technically supposed to be a marksman rifle. But I think it works better as an assault rifle replacement rather than a pistol one. Although then again, I'm biased because I just like the sidekick.
Killing spree.
I've also been trying, and I don't know if it's just me, to try and get assassinations. But it seems to be just like the Halo 3 style beatdown, but it's not called a beatdown, it's called a backslap if you do it from behind. And I kind of don't understand why the medal name's changed. Like what was wrong with beatdown, or even an assassination for a beatdown at the back.
Close.
Part of me was obviously there is a back smack, so there you go. Case in point. But yeah, I would like the animated assassinations to come back, just because they're so over the top.
Nearing victory.
It can maybe be disabled in certain modes, where it will be an assassination medal you get for like, the back smack variety of assassination, rather than a full on one.
Power items incoming.
Because
Let's find us some targets.
in some of these arena modes, fair enough, I think it would be too close quarters, you'd be dead by the time your assassination had finished. But for something like Big Team, I would like to see assassinations return. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm in the minority. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you have had the chance to play, or if you're watching this and you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear about it. Terrain just being smashed to pieces is
Over yonder.
slightly disconcerting.
Taking fire. Better luck next time.
Steak-tacular.
Still getting the spectaculars in this, even with the harder AI. "14 kills, 1 death." To be honest, although I was ducking and covering a bit more, I feel as though that's much the same as we would have had against the other AI. But that's not to knock bot matches. Like, bot matches are awesome, and they're a great sort of training tool, if nothing else. Because you get used to the maps, you get used to the weapon placements, you get used to other people without having to face off against them. But I think there'll still be that jump in difficulty from going from a bot match to a player versus player match. I like the fact this is essentially the free version of Firefight. Just without the E variety, you know, it's more multiplayer focused.
Slayer.
My fire this time.
Kill everything that moves and try not to die.
He's able to for the other guy.
Taking fire.
Oh. Also, I think some of these medals are placeholders. So the Rampage
Picking up a drop.
and the
Tango's closing in.
one that's after a killing frenzy, but before a rampage. I can never remember the name of.
Perfect.
They have the same medal icon at the minute, and I'm kind of like, oh, I take it this is a placeholder and they're not actually going to look the same. Also, they've made medals really round. Even the perfection medals changed, so I hope that it is just a placeholder as well. Oh dear. And that they go back to their hexagonal shape and style for at least the perfection medal. I'd like to see them do it with the sprees too, because there's times I'm seeing medals pop up and I'm like, what on earth are those?
One shot, so many dead enemies.
I think it's what makes Halo slightly separate too, is the different medals, where they kind of
Spike obtained.
are semi-comic ones. Oh my goodness, I sent him flying.
Overshield inbound. Overshield
Nearly got me with that
available.
grenade.
Over yonder.
Also like the fact that the Smart Link is back from Halo 5. But I'm wondering how they're going to put that into the story thing.
Killing spree.
Drop walls here.
We'll see. Also, I have no idea how to ping, but you can ping stuff too.
Spike grenade
Again, very
acquired.
Apex style.
Way to victory.
S7 sniper inbound. S7 sniper available.
Sniper's ours.
Spartan down!
So I love the reload time on weapons too. It's nice that it's like that faster one. BR's up. I haven't really used weapon skins that much in this.
Overshield inbound.
Solely because I like the default textures for most of these. The BR, for example.
Overshield available.
I have one on the AR and I have one on the Commando, just because I think they look. The AR looks like an AR, so it's got its own aesthetic anyway. But the Commando just looks like a generic gun, so I thought I'd put a skin on it to try and jazz it up a bit. Also, the ammo count on the BR is ridiculous, like 216 reserve ammo. What? Thought it'd be capped at like 108 like it was before, but no. Yeah, just load in those extra rounds.
Spartan's closing in.
Also a nice touch that this is the Avery Johnson Academy of Military Science. Nice callback to, well, the original Halo trilogy. They say the events on the arc specifically. But then 343 have been good at that. Like Halo Wars 2 had loads of references to the book set before it, which introduced Olympia Vale from Halo 5. I can remember the name of the book, but yeah, there are loads of characters in it, and one of the scientists who gets killed on the Ark in that book, the research hub which Isabel has found in the Halo Wars 2 campaign, is named after him. So nice wee bit of continuity. Hopefully this will be the third map.
Slay.
It's happy days. Recharge it is. Very nice. Oh, the flaming ninja. Tend to use the 2 energy swords on the flame, so it's good news for me, the fact that the flame things come back as an emblem attachment. They are running down here for this grabby hammer, I think. is those drop holes are basically useless because they take so long to get put out and deployed.
Stay mobile.
Oh dear. And I snipe grenade myself. Not having a good day for grenades.
BR-75 obtained.
It does. I get big apex vibes off this, even though this is arena. Just the style of call out for weapons and whatnot. It just reminds me of the full name, sorry, the BR-75 from playing this rather than just BR-AR. You know, pistol, magnum, sidekick, whatever. Well, I have to say, I'm hoping that they bring back the magnum as a weapon in a season in the future, if not at launch, where we get to see
Overshield inbound.
you know, something like they have in Destiny, where there's like a
Overshield
sidearm
available.
category, which the sidekick would fit into, and then a hand cannon category, which the yellow CE Magnum, for example, would fit into no problem. And have it as like a power weapon. Again, kind of like they have with Season 5, where they added in a load of weapons after launch. I think it would be a cool thing for the each season to have a new weapon and a new map or something like that. Not necessarily both. Just something, you know, to keep everything fresh. First season's all Reach themed, so I don't see why they couldn't do a
Here we go.
Halo CE theme when it got. Also think this map would be good for some environmentals, so like have a console where you can like overcharge a coil or something and it electrocutes the floor. Thinking back to H2A maps and stuff like that.
Enemies hurt.
Victory.
Enemies on me.
Yeah, I think there's a fair amount of gravel shots whenever you get them. You either get 3 or 4. And I think that's more than enough. Like, you basically have to be sparing your use of. And it reminds me a lot
Available.
of Pathfinder's gravel game from Apex. I'm doing a lot of Apex comparisons, but I feel as though Apex is the in thing at the minute anyway, in terms of PvP. So the fact that they're borrowing certain things will work well for them, and attracting other people. Like, this still feels very Halo-esque, and quintessentially Halo. Like, the music alone makes it Halo. You know it's a Halo game. It feels very much like Halo 3 in that sense, but with the best bits of 4 and 5. And indeed some outside inspiration from Apex and that taken and thrown into the mix.
Spectacular.
So it's all good. Okie dokie, so final thoughts on the flight in general. Overall, it's been absolutely fantastic. I am of course grateful to have been part of it to start off with. But everything I've seen so far looks great. The Academy is a great addition with weapon drills and I assume other stuff as well in addition to the story thing. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what that looks like in the finished product. But like, it got me used to all of the new weapons and all of the returning weapons very quickly. And like, I was able to know what the shot count for kills was and everything else, so that was really handy. The bot matches are fantastic. I think they'll be really good for helping people brush up and practice whenever it comes to online multiplayer. I'm sure there will still be people that will be absolutely amazing at Halo Infinite's PvP, and they will still dominate matches, which isn't great for people such as myself that are kind of only part-timers. But I'm hopeful that with bot matches and that, there will at least be a way for, if for example you have a friend who's just starting out and you've been playing Halo for a while, you'll be able to take them into a bot match and give them a few wins before you go into full-on PvP. So it builds their confidence, it gets them comfortable using all this stuff. And to be honest, I think that's, you know, the big takeaway from this, is that it's very user-friendly. Like, they've talked about this being a reboot of the whole series. Truth be told, I think it's done a very good job of not only being like a reboot, but also a reintroduction to a lot of stuff. And that's okay. I would still like to see some more returning elements, and this is where my slight bit of criticism comes in, where some of the medals and that, I'm kind of like, why change something that's easily recognizable from every other Halo? Like, the whole way from Halo CE to Halo 5 you've had certain medals. It's like, for example, I don't understand the change between no scope, which it is now, and snapshot, which it was previously. It's like they're the same thing, but snapshot was the Halo version of it. And I think that's my main criticism, is that 343 shouldn't be afraid to like dive into what makes Halo medal wise, not just like content and playability and everything else. They've absolutely nailed, I'm at the minute trying to compete with the music in the background, but they've absolutely nailed the play style, they've absolutely nailed the balance, I think, so far anyway, between weapons. Everything's fun and easy to use. I think the plasma carbine, assuming I've got the name of that right, pulse carbine, sorry, is the first plasma weapon since the plasma rifle way back in Halo CE, where I've been like, damn, this weapon actually does some serious damage and is useful. I didn't do a very good job for it in that first video, but I have been using it over the past couple of days, and I have to say I've only grown to love it. The only thing I've been a bit iffy about is the heat wave, which is the sort of forerunner two-directional shooty thing, and again I think that's just because I'm not a shotgun user, but it wasn't my cup of tea at all. But I like the place it has in the sandbox. It's very situational, but I think in the right hands it could be really good, and I think that's fine. But yeah, medals and skins and everything, I feel as though they should be gearing them towards, you know, have stuff that's Halo-y. I know that sounds a bit weird to say, but like, you know, have the old-fashioned medals, have assassinations in if you can, and if not, have, you know, the wee ninja for your beatdown medals rather than the back smack, which just seems a bit odd. Even name-wise, oh, I just got a back smack, you know. Whereas, oh, I assassinated somebody. It's maybe not as malicious, and that's maybe what they're going for. They're going more PG-13 rather than 16. So they're terming the stuff slightly differently and tuning terminology down, a bit like Disney does with some of its products, where they reword stuff so that it's not seen as being so aggressive or over the top. I think in Halo's case they should be allowed to have whatever they want in. So if medals is the only thing that I can complain about on this, then they've done a hell of a job. But yes, overall it's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed myself. Kind of sad to see it go, because it's one of those ones where I would quite happily have played this you know, at launch. Yes, it's been buggy at times. I've had no outright crashes, but I know that some people have, and some people have had bother getting on. But that's to be expected. But for this to be somewhere between an alpha and a beta build, even though there's a lot of placeholders in place, like, it still feels like a polished, finished product. At least to me. Like, if I was playing that and they'd updated all the side stuff, like the icons for maps and whatnot, and the extra medals, I suspect it'll play very similarly at launch, and that's good because it already plays amazing. I'm sure there will be some people who will disagree and they'd like to see more difficulty for, say, the sniper rifle or something like that, but personally I have loved all the power weapons. Some of them I haven't been able to use very well, but that doesn't mean that they're not balanced. The sandbox overall has been very good. The customization looks good, as I said and mentioned at the start of this video. Hopefully we'll get more customization rather than just full body tints. We'll hopefully be able to do individual armor pieces, but all of the different options in there are amazing. The fact that we're getting that level of customization is really cool. Personal AIs, whenever I saw them announced, I was kind of a bit iffy on them. I am 100% sold on them after this flight. I absolutely love my personal AI. I'm hoping that whenever it actually launches and we have the extra customization, that we will be able to choose the shape and have the voice that we would like. I might end up still going for the circular one, but yeah, hopefully I'm sold on the Cirque voice for this. So it'll be interesting to see what other ones they have, and hopefully there'll be a wee voice sample preview whenever you're browsing them in the menu, because that was one thing I missed. I had to go and play in each individual match with a different AI, and it made the match where I was kind of a bit iffy on the pyramid one just a wee bit of a drag, because I was like, God, I wish I brought my other AI. But yeah, overall, all good things to say. Well done 343. I don't know if they're planning on doing future flights. I assume they are. I have no idea if I'm part of them. I would love to be, but I will happily wait for lunch and pick this up again then. So I think that'll do me for this video. So thank you all very much for watching and for listening to my thoughts, as sort of here, there and everywhere as they've been. I hope you've enjoyed this Halo Infinite flight, enjoyed watching it, and I'm sure some of you have enjoyed playing it too. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.